Hey guys, in this video we will be solving linear inequalities for y. If you have not watched the first video labeled Linear Inequality Basic Explanation, please watch that one before beginning this one. Make sure you have paper and a pencil ready so you can take notes so you can use to help you through your assignment for the week. Alright, let's dive in. Previously, we have reviewed how to solve a linear equation for y. So given a linear equation, let's just say 4x plus 3y equals 12. How we used to solve for y in class, we use the cross method. Now, you want to make sure that you take notes on the steps of the cross method. I'm going to write them right down here. Cross method. Step 1. Change x. So what does that mean? Well, that means the number attached to the x, in this case 4, we're going to put that in our first box. I'm sorry, I skipped a step. First thing you have to do, you have to make a little cross right there. Cross method, make a cross. So in the first square, we're going to put a -4 because the step says to change x. In this case, it's positive, so we're going to change it to a negative. Step number 2 says keep answer. Well, this equation is equal to 12. So in the second box, we're going to put 12. Step 3 says keep, keep y for both bottom boxes. For both bottom boxes. So that means the number in front of the y, in this case it's a positive 3, we're going to put a 3 in both boxes right here. Now I ran out of room, so I'm going to write the last step right here. What you're going to do is you're going to divide top to bottom. Top to bottom. So I like to put little division symbols right here so it'll remind me. Make a little arrow, top to bottom. Top to bottom. So that means that we're going to take -4 divided by 3, and we're also going to take 12 divided by 3. And whenever you have your box completed, you're pretty much ready to write your answer. I'm going to write my answer right here. Remember, we're solving for y, so you're going to put y equals, and the first thing that it equals, -4 divided by 3, well, that just gives you -4 over 3. You cannot forget to put your x behind your slope, because remember, this column gives you your slope. This column gives you your y-intercept. And when you're solving these equations right here, they're given to you in standard form, and you're trying to solve them and put them in slope-intercept form. I'm going to make a note of slope-intercept form. And well, what is slope-intercept form? It's y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. That's your y-intercept. So going back to the problem here, we have y is equal to -4 over 3. Remember, we have to put we have to put an x behind our slope, so that's why we put an x right here, because -4 over 3 in this case is our slope. And our y-intercept is 12 divided by 3, and it's going to give you a +4, so I'm going to put +4. So this answer right here, y equals -4 over 3x plus 4, is now solved for y. And we began with a standard form equation of 4x plus 3y equals 12. So remember, when you're solving for y, we use the cross method. Please be sure that you have written down the cross method steps right down here at the bottom. The last step is over here, step 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. First step, change x. Second step, keep answer. Third step, keep y. And the fourth is to divide top to bottom. So remember, this is how you solve for y on a linear equation. You're going to do the exact same thing for a linear inequality. Instead of using an equal sign, you're just going to have to use whatever inequality symbol is given. So let's look at this one right here. 3x plus 5y is less than or equal to 15. So pause this video and see if you can do the cross method, if you can at least fill out your box. So remember, the first thing you want to do is you want to make your cross. The first step in cross method is to change x. Well, in this case, x is a positive 3, so I'm going to change it to a negative 3. Second step is to keep answer. Well, this case, the answer is 15, so I'm going to put 15 right here. And the last step is to keep your y in both bottom boxes. So I have a positive y, a positive 5 for my y, and how I know it's positive is because it says plus 5 right here. So I'm going to put a positive 5 in both my bottom boxes. The last step is to divide from top to bottom. Divide from top to bottom. Now I'm ready to write my answer. So y, I'm not going to put equal because we're solving an inequality. So I'm going to use the original symbol that I was given right here, less than or equal to. So y is less than or equal to negative 3 divided by 5 will give you just a negative 3 over 5. If you don't know, go over to your calculator. Let's do it right now. Go over to your calculator. Negative 3 divided by 5. You hit enter. It's going to give you a decimal. I want it in fraction. So if you don't know what that is in fraction, remember, hit math, number 1 for fraction, and hit enter. It's going to give you a negative 3 over 5. So that's how I got the negative 3 over 5. Remember, after your slope, you have to put your x. And now I'm going to solve 15 divided by 5. So 15 divided by 5 will give you a positive 3. So since it's positive, I'm going to say plus 3. Now I have now solved that inequality for y. Let's look at another one. Because in this one, you're going to need that very important step that I told you guys about in the first video. Remember, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the inequality symbol. So if you don't have it already written down, jot it down now. If you multiply, write it down now. If you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the inequality symbol. You must flip the inequality symbol. In the cases that we're going to be dealing with, you're going to have to focus on if you're dividing by a negative number. Because when we do cross method, we only divide. So make sure you have written it down. Let's look at one here. 4x minus 5y is greater than 20. So you're going to still do the exact same thing as far as make your cross. In the first box, you're going to change x. We have a positive 4, so I'm going to change that to a negative 4. Second box, I'm going to keep my answer. My answer is 20, so I'm going to put 20 right here. And in my last two boxes, the bottom boxes, I'm going to keep my y. In this case, I have a negative 5. And it's negative 5 because of the minus sign in front of the 5. So you have to take that minus and make it a negative. So now I have a negative 5. And remember, you're going to be dividing. So this is where you should remember your special step. I'm dividing by a negative number. So I have to flip my original inequality symbol whenever I write my answer. So that means when I write my answer down here, I'm going to say y. Instead of saying greater than, I'm going to now flip that symbol because I divided by a negative 5 here. I'm going to flip my original symbol and I'm going to make it less than. So y is now less than, and now I'm going to finish writing out my answer. Well, negative 4 divided by a negative 5 will give you a positive 4 over 5. What can you not forget to put behind your slope? You can't forget to put your x back there. And now you're going to take your other column and you're going to divide 20 divided by a negative 5. That's going to give you a negative 4. So to show that it's a negative 4, you're just going to write minus 4. And now your answer is complete. Let's do another one here. Let's say I'm given an inequality x plus 2y is less than negative 2. X plus 2y is less than negative 2. Pause this video and see if you can work it out on your own. All right. First thing to do is to make a cross. Remember, first step is to change x. Oh, well, I look right here and I see that x does not have a number in front. But remember, if you don't see a number in front, we can always assume that it's a 1 in front. Because 1 times anything is just that anything. 1 times x equals x. So there's really no reason to write the 1 in front, but you just have to know that if it's just a variable, it's understood that it's always a 1 in front of that variable. So step 1 says to change x. I have a positive 1 in front. I'm going to change it to a negative. Second step, keep answer. In this case, it's going to be negative 2. And the last step, keep y for my bottom 2 boxes. In this case, it's a positive 2. So I'm going to put 2 in each box right here. Do I have to flip the symbol? No, I don't have to flip the symbol because, remember, you only have to flip that inequality symbol if you are dividing or multiplying by a negative number. But we're dividing by a positive 2, so there's no reason to flip the symbol. So when we write our answer for this problem, it's going to be y. Keep the exact same symbol from the original problem because you're not dividing by a negative number. So y is less than a negative 1 divided by 2 will give you a negative 1 over 2. X, because you got to put your x behind your slope. And a negative 2 divided by a positive 2 will give you a negative 1. So it's just minus 1. All right, one more example here. Say we're given the inequality 2x minus 3y is greater than or equal to 5. Pause the video and see if you can work this one out on your own. All right, first step to do is to make you a cross. Remember, you're going to change x. In this case, we have a positive 2, so we're going to change it to a negative 2. Then you want to keep your answer. In this case, the answer is 5, so I'm going to put a positive 5 right here. And in the bottom boxes, I'm going to keep my y. And my y in this case is going to be a negative 3. So I'm going to put a negative 3. I'm going to divide from top to bottom. So if you guys see, I'm dividing by a negative number because I'm dividing by a negative 3. So what do I have to do with this inequality symbol? You have to flip it. You have to flip it. You cannot forget. If you divide by a negative number, you have to flip it. So when you write your answer down here, it's no longer greater than or equal to. It's going to be less than or equal to. So y is less than or equal to negative 2 divided by a negative 3 will give you a positive 2 over 3. Put your x behind your slope. And a 5 divided by a negative 3 will give you a negative 5 over 3. So it will be minus 5 over 3.